First and foremost, before we get started, I like to give all praises and honor and glory to Yahweh, by Hashem, Yahweh Shai, by Hashem, Rekah Kwadash, and the Those Greek millstone, while unto his truth, and also to the filet that is scattered abroad. I like to say, Shalom, and come back here today with another great and powerful lesson, the spirit and the power of Yahweh, by Hashem, Yahweh Shai. And the title of today's lesson is Watchman Report, News and Events. So I like to say Shalom to all our listen and learn. Hope this will help you today and guide you back in the path of righteousness and back to your true power, which in fact is Yahweh, by Hashem, Yahweh Shai. So I have a few news articles, but we'll get started here with this one here by UPI. And it reads, it says, Lockbit claims Federal Reserve breach threatens release of American banking secrets. Let's get a little bit more. It says here that June 24th said UPI Russian ransomware group Lockbit claims it has breached the U.S. Federal Reserve and is threatening to release 33 terabytes of sensitive data, including American banking secrets, on Tuesday. So a lot of these things they don't put in the news. They were saying that the Federal Reserve was hacked. So we already saying that it was going to be, already had been warned, an FBI warning has already went out since last year that there will be cyber attacks on the what infrastructure. You know, they already said about what China and Russia. So we already knowing that we're very close to a great economic collapse. We already knowing the dollar is on what is constantly what circling the drain. Also, we know the dollar is pretty much finished because all these countries are constantly what de-dollarizing the dollar. You know, this BRIC alliance, and also now this has happened. You know, the system was down. Also, it was saying Walmart system was down, and also it was saying about Walmart was getting ready to close more stores and more layoffs, and also not including Walmart, all other like retail store like Kroger's, just to name a few Kroger's. I think Target was another one, and many others, you know, are talking about closing their doors because they saying that the system are down or they're not making enough money. You know, you already knowing how this is going, so we already know that they're constantly bringing it to pass. And also, it said the C-19 is on the rise once again. So a lot of these things are constantly happening, picking up. Also, that car dealership, their system was down. We were dealing with these dealership, you know, with your cars and with your going to get your car fixed. These manufacturers, these when you take it to the factory to get it fixed, all this different thing, you know, working in with the dealership, you know. So I think I put a video with about that the other day. So we already know if this is in fact is true, which in fact it seems like it is true, saying that that it will be bank run. So we already knowing that that time of trouble is coming. You know, we already knowing that, you know, hey man, you know, your money is getting ready to be obsolete. So a lot of people right now thinking that they're a good case because they have money in the bank. You could wake up one morning and they tell you that the bank is closed. You know, it might see your email say to further notice. So we already knowing that they're transitioning into this what digital programmable, also implantable society. So now let's go to the next one. I got another one. I think it's about Walmart. Bear with me one moment. Sit right here. Let's open it up. It says here, it said Walmart lays off hundreds of employees and require other to relocate. So we seeing right here, you know, Walmart, you know, they've been closing down their store for some time now. You know, saying that, you know, the sales are dropping, or they saying that, you know, pretty much a theft, all sorts of things that they constantly bringing forth, but they already, you know, we already know that this is getting ready to happen. This is what you call order out of chaos. Control the food, control the people, control the money, control the people. And it's very simple, total control. So we see it right here. We're not going to read this article, but one thing about it is that, you know, and also the system was down. Some of Walmart stores and in different states, the system was down. So you already know these cyber attacks are happening left and right, but you already know what Russia said. Also China, you know, saying that, you know, it will be a consequence. You know, they constantly sending these missiles over here, letting Ukraine use these U.S. missiles to attack a Russian target. So now all these things is constantly happening. This system is down. That system is down. So you could wake up one morning and cannot even get any money out of the bank. Can't even buy yourself your necessities and different things like that. So we know we're coming upon this. So right here, once again, it said Walmart lays off hundreds employees and requires others to relocate. So we seeing right here. So these things are constantly happening, left and right, So we seeing that we're here, they constantly we seeing that something is about to happen. So we're at any given time, we can't hardly keep up with all this information. Here's another one right here if it come in, but we're not going to read those one because of they hit you for misinformation or what you call medical misinformation. You understand what I'm saying. You already know how YouTube rocks. So but we'll read it. You know what I'm saying. So it's just another news article by NBC News, and it reads it said new CDC data shows up to 39 states seeing a rise in the C19 cases. So that's further we're gonna go into. But so we already knowing that it already was telling you about this bird flu outbreak. Also, it's saying that a ringworm outbreak. So all sorts of plagues and pestilence are coming upon us. So they could call it what, a lockdown or some type of climate crisis lockdown. So you're seeing where all this is going. So every day, something is happening one behind another. So we already knowing that we're very close. Something is about to happen. We're seeing it happening right before our eyes. All hell is about to break loose. The new CDC data shows up to 39 states are seeing a rise in the C19 cases. So we seeing right there, also we knowing that what else is getting ready to come back into play is these hokey pokies. So a lot of things are coming, these chipping stations. You understand what I'm saying? Revelation chapter 13. So we know, and also we know that famine of the word is fast approaching. Also we know they get ready to take a lot of these social media sites down. So right now you got to get it while it's hot. So I think it's one more I got is I think it's AT&T. Let's see. I think I had one by AT&T outage. We just read the title. Let's see, can I pull it up? This is right here. So this is happening today too. So a lot of people was getting dropped call, but it's saying it was dealing with their carriers. So international outage and roaming. So we'll just read the title on this one because there's so much information. So we read this one here about Newsbreak. It says here, it says AT&T and T-Mobile and Verizon customers are stranded in international roaming outage. So, man, I'm telling you, one thing behind another one, we seeing it. Left and right says here, it said problems started early in the morning of June 26. Travelers reported an inability to make calls or data. Says here, said fingers are pointing at Cyverse, said a provider of communication and a networking service for mobile operator. That's what we are going to that. I got a little video bringing out with a little bit more clarity. But so we seeing right here that we already we've been telling you about rolling blackouts. We've been telling you about cyber attacks. Telling you about the internet will be down, the infrastructure will be totally decimated. Also a great economic collapse. So we seeing how these things are going. It was lining up, control the food. Control the food, control the people, control the money, control the people, control the power grid, control the people, control the water. So it's total control. So we seeing that we're here, it's an AT&T, T-Mobile, and Verizon customers stranded in international roaming outage. So one thing about it, once they cut the communication off and cut this word off, we already knowing that, hey man, we're here. All hell is getting ready to break loose. And once again, something is about to happen. So now, let's get a quick precept before we start today's video. Let's go here to let's go here to Ephesians. Let's go to Ephesians chapter 5. Ephesians chapter 5 is in the New Testament. Ephesians chapter 5. And we'll start up at verse 15. One moment. Let's see here. Ephesians chapter 5 and verse 15. And it reads, say, see then that ye walk circumspectly, not as fools, but as wise. So, knowing what time that you're living, knowing the environment, constantly, on the lookout, watching, seeing the signs of the time. We're seeing that the vibration is changing. We're seeing these dark, perilous times are coming upon us. So let's read it in the NLT. It says, so be careful how you live. Said, don't live like fools, but like those who are wise. So one thing about it, we know that the prudent foresee the evils, what the wise, what the true believers of Yahweh, by Hashem Yahweh. So we see it right now. You got to walk circumspectly. You got to be careful of your surroundings. You got to be careful who you are talking to or who you are spending time with, because we're living in some perilous time. And one thing about it, when you go into the word circumspectly, in circle, you mean, look around, and also expect me to look. So we seeing that we're here, so got to look out, got to be watching at all times. But we know that what the devil is getting ready to come down with great wrath. Verse 16 said, redeeming the time, because the days are evil. The days are are growing very evil. Also we know that Jacob's trouble is out the door. Things are getting ready to brew over. We already seeing what's going on, that tension that is rising in the Middle East. Also tension is rising right here in Babylon the Great, America. They're already telling you about what civil unrest, civil war, rioting, all sorts of things is getting ready to take place. Let's read in NLT. It said, make most of every opportunity these evil days, in these evil days. Let's read that once again in the NLT. It said, make most of every opportunity in these evil days. So one thing about it, the opportunity now is to seek the Lord. Seek the Lord while he can be found. Seek the Lord while he is near. And one thing about it, we're very close. Verse 17, verse 17 said, so wherefore be ye not unwise, but understanding what the will of the Lord is. And one thing about it is that, hey man, we're very close. The Lord is getting ready to execute judgment upon us at a fast pace. It's constantly, things are constantly growing very dark, very perilous. It's an evil time. We're seeing that violence is constantly rising all around. Or what the war drums are being, rumors of wars are all over the place, events after events. In the middle of the Lord, we're constantly, are constantly sighing and crying left and right, warning you of all these impending dangers. So the title of the day lesson, once again, is Watchman Report, News and Events. So let's start today's video, and after the video, we'll start the lesson, and I hope that you will get edified.
Is that? So I went to Walmart today to get my elderly father-in-law a refrigerator and a coffee pot because he just moved in with me. And after about an hour of shopping, I noticed all the employees were coming back into the store with carts putting stuff back. Until finally I was approached by an employee and said, hey, you have perishables in your cart and right now our systems are down. So you might want to think about putting them back because we don't know when the system's going to be back up. And then I realized all of the cashiers were gone from the front. They were all bringing stuff back that they had to return for people that couldn't make their purchases. They were in the store. There was people lined up waiting for these systems to come back online. The managers were passing out waters like it was a hot day outside and everybody was standing outside. And I was starting to really wonder what the heck's really going on here. So I started putting my stuff back. I'm talking on the phone, so I'm not paying no attention anyways. It's not a big deal. So I figured I'll wait for a little while, see if they come back up. And they did not. I went all the way to the back of the store to put the refrigerator back and put the movie I had got back. And finally, after about 3 hours, an employee came up to me and said, hey, all of our systems are down right now and we're going to need everybody to leave the store. I'm like, wait, like right now? She's like, yeah, I'll finish putting stuff back in your cart for you. You don't even have to do that. We just need everybody to leave right now. But Walmart closing down for an entire 3 hours or so is a big deal. That's thousands of dollars that they're out on. Why, when I got home, nobody was reporting on it? No news, no nothing. So that's when I made my video and started making a report about it. And I was shocked with how many other people said it was our state too. Our state, Walmart went down, but not only Walmart. Other stores like Kroger, CVS, Walgreens. I know the Federal Reserve got hacked yesterday, allegedly, and no, the hackers aren't giving any proof yet, but I think it has something to do with it. What do you think? So I went through and made a list of all of the states that people said that it happened in their state today too. And there is 17 states. I listed all of the companies that people were saying that happened to. It's not only Walmart. There are 17 other companies that it happened to today too, including the Federal Reserve, and allegedly the IRS got hacked today too. But my point of all this was that I feel like something bigger is coming. If the Federal Reserve and the electronic system goes down in this country, what are you going to do? Do you have cash on hand? Do you have water on hand? Do you have food backup? Do you have ways to cook your food if everything goes down? Are you able to take care of your family if you're not able to use your debit card to pay for things? So I feel like the Holy Spirit is just prompting us to all be ready because something big is coming. I can feel it. I know you can feel it. So let me know if there's any other states or countries or companies that this is happening to so we can band together. Forget the government trying to tell us the news. They tell us propaganda.
Whoa, and I was handing with y'all out to check this out. Here we go again. If it ain't one thing, it's another. Yeah, you reading the headlines correct. That thing is back. Here we go again. Same old shit, dog, just a different day. Now, if you thought 2024 couldn't get no worse than what it is, man, this bit gonna show you something, I'm telling you. Now, we having record-breaking temperatures all over the globe right now. Hot as it ever been, right? Now, last time I checked, they say COVID came, surviving in hot conditions. Now, how in the fuck is sprouting back up? Now they saying it's in like 39 states and people getting sick, going to the emergency room. Let that shit ponder for a little bit, because guess what? Could this be the layout for the big plan that they got coming out? You know what I'm saying? Is this what it's going to take to get us back in the house? Is this so they can set up everything? Because I'm telling y'all, we getting ready to hit July. Things about to get a little motherfucking crazy out here. I'm telling you, the closer we get to that election, the worse shit gonna get, man. That's why I tell y'all, man, stack up on your shit, get tight with family, and get prepared for what's getting ready.
Today, major U.S. cell carriers AT&T, T-Mobile, and Verizon are experiencing a major international roaming outage. This issue means many customers traveling abroad can't make calls, send texts, or use cellular data. The problem stems from Cineverse, the third-party provider handling international roaming for these carriers. T-Mobile confirmed the issue is with a third-party vendor, while AT&T stated the disruptions are outside their network, affecting customers globally. Verizon reported that around 30% of their customers are impacted. Cineverse acknowledged the issue and is working to restore full service. Americans traveling abroad have voiced their frustrations as many rely on their phones for essential services like ordering transportation, checking bank information, and contacting loved ones. But what do you guys think? How would you handle being abroad without any cell service? Share your thoughts below.
So we're seeing that, a lot of things are drying up. We're seeing that what the sown places are becoming unsown. It's just by design or manufactured, but all through the spirit and power. Yahweh, Ba'ashim, Yahushua. We already know that left-hand energy is working. One thing about it, the Lord is in perfect control. So trust and believe in Yahweh, Ba'ashim, Yahushua. So let's get started with today's lesson. Let's go here to Ecclesiastes chapter 12. Ecclesiastes chapter 12. We'll start up at verse no, not Jeremiah. Let's go back out. Let's go here, Ecclesiastes chapter 12. And we start up at verse 1. And we're seeing that, everything is constantly closing down. We're seeing that the infrastructure is constantly getting hit with these cyber attacks, left and right, rumors of war. A lot of things are constantly happening. Also, the pestilence, it's on the rise, so the plagues are not slacking down for a moment. So we knowing that something is about to happen. We're seeing it right before our eyes. Seek the Lord. Ecclesiastes chapter 12 and verse 1. And it reads, remember now thy Creator in the days of thy youth, while the evil days come not, nor the years draw nigh, when thou shalt say, I have no pleasure in them. So it's going to come that time, where you will not have any pleasure in these times that's coming up. Jacob trouble, a time of trouble that we've never seen before. That's right here. It say, it's time to seek the Lord, while you are able, while you are still have time, while you're basically when you're young, to seek the Lord. But sometimes, the Lord will wake you up at any given age. But this scripture right here, when you're basically when you're young, when you're able, right now it's time, what I'm saying? Things right now going happy-go-lucky for a lot of people. A lot of people are in the house of mirth. One thing about it, they gonna be saying, what I'm saying, they will have no pleasure, in these times that's coming upon us. So let's read it in NLT. It said, don't let the excitement of your of youth. Let's read it again. Ecclesiastes chapter 12 and verse 1 in the NLT. It said, don't let the excitement of youth cause you to forget your creator. Honor him in your youth before you grow old and say, life is not pleasant anymore. So one thing about it is that, right now it's the opportunity to seek the Lord. Right now, a lot of people right now eating good right now, still help their bank account, still help their family, still have their homes, their vehicles. But one thing about it, the Lord's getting ready to break the staff of the bread. And one thing about it, these times that are coming up upon us, gonna have a what? Great desperation, great sorrow, the beginning of sorrow. So right now, really basically it's time to seek the Lord. If the Lord is dealing with you, because one thing about it, we are running out of time, and you will have no pleasure is what's getting ready to come upon this earth. A time of trouble that we have never seen before. Once again, even though we sound like a broken record, but these are the times that we're living in. Ecclesiastes chapter 12 and verse 2 he said, while the sun or the light or the moon or the stars be not darkened, nor the clouds return after the rain. So right now, it's sunshine today, but a lot of people still don't know what the signs of the time. One thing about it, the day is sunshine, but one thing about it, this is the quiet before the storm. So right now, things had not went darkened right now. That stormy weather has not come upon us, but it's fastly approaching. We constantly warn you, the prudent foresees the evil. Verse 3 said, in the day when the keepers of the house shall tremble, and the strong men shall bow themselves, and the grinders cease, because they are few, and those that look out the window be darkened. So one thing about it is when we say the grinders cease, that's going into employment, your jobs, your resources, things are drying up, store clothes, these retail store, these grocery store, a lot of things dealing with what? Food, water, resource, medical supplies, all these things are, hey man, America getting ready to go out of business. So right here it says, once again, it says, in the day when the keepers of the house shall tremble, and the strong men shall bow themselves, and the grinders cease, because they are few, and those that look out the windows be darkened. So one thing about it is, so right now, way things looking now is, when they look out, it's going to be a dark forecast, because no job, no high unemployment, hyperinflation, a lot of these things right here. And it said that a strong man will buy down. Talking about these what you call these they be on the stock market. These men that's in finance, different things like that's what that's going into. But one thing about it, they're gonna even gonna have to buy down, because it's gonna get so bad, So we're seeing that it's here, so we can have a great economic collapse at any given time. So you can wake up in the morning, you can't get money out of the bank, you can't go purchase anything. You just pretty much just sitting like a dead duck in the water. As I put it like that. So we're seeing that the American empire is constantly circling the drain, constantly declining, constantly at the end of this wicked kingdom, which in fact is Babylon the Great. So we're seeing that the grind is ceasing. All them store closing, laying off people, no jobs, So you already know what's getting ready to happen. All hell is getting ready to break loose when a person cannot eat and they cannot get resources. It's going to be mayhem. Verse 4 says, and the door shall be shut in the streets when the sound of the grinding is low, and he shall rise up at the voice of the birds, and all the daughters of music shall be brought low. So one thing about it is that, the house, this right now, a lot of people's in the house of myrrh, but it's getting ready to be in the house of mourning, very soon. Great desperation, great sorrow, great misery, great death. You know what I'm saying? We already know there's going to be food shortage, starvation, you know what I'm saying? All sorts of calamities and catastrophes are getting ready to befall you. So right now, it's a dark forecast. They're already telling you about, hyperinflation, telling you about the dollar is at the end. You know what I'm saying? This dollar is getting ready to be obsolete. They shall throw they silver and the gold in the street. We're coming upon these times. We're constantly warning you left and right, but a lot of people still thinking that they are a good case. And these things are constantly drying up right before our face. The sown place is becoming unsown. We're seeing it right before our eyes. So now, let's go here to Second Ezra. Let's go here to Second Ezra chapter 16. Second Ezra chapter 16. And we'll start up at verse, right there. Let's start up at verse, I think it's 17. Second Ezra chapter 16. And let's start up at verse 17. It said, woe is me, who will deliver me in those days? And woe mean destruction. Verse 18 said, the beginning of sorrows and great mournings, the beginning of famine and great death, the beginning of wars, and the power shall stand in fear, the beginning of evils. So what shall I do when these evils shall come? So one thing about what shall you do? If you're not under the protection of Yahweh, you're not part of the elect, you will be totally destroyed. So we seeing that we're at the beginning of mournings, beginning of famine, beginning of death, beginning of wars. So we're already knowing that World War III has begun. It's constantly picking up. Tensions is rising. We're seeing that nation are rising against nation. We're seeing that right here in Babylon the Great. We're seeing that this nation is divided. It cannot stand. We already know that about this debate they had tonight, which in fact is a puppet show. So we're not even interested in none of those things. Won't have anything to do with us. We ready for the Lord to destroy this place. And the Lord get ready to bring forth all sorts of evil upon this wicked kingdom. And one thing about it is that, that's why we constantly warn you left and right, return, seek the Lord, lean not on your own understanding, because right here we seeing that we are fast approaching these times, the beginning of sorrow, or that transition of power. We're coming into this digital society. Going to be dealing with your biometrics. A lot of things are coming. The MOTB. It's fast approaching. So let's read this once again. We at the beginning of sorrows. Let's read it once again. The beginning of sorrows and great mourning. The beginning of famine and great death. The beginning of wars, and the power shall stand in fear. The beginning of evils, and what shall I do when these evils shall come? So we're seeing that these evils are constantly growing all around. We're seeing that the sea, is back on the rise again. We already know they can call another pandemic, another lockdown. A lot of these things are coming into play. Watch, pray, and be sober. Verse 9 it said, behold, famine, plagues, and tribulation, and anguish are sent as scourges for amendment. So we're seeing it right there. These plagues, famine, tribulation, constantly coming, scourges for amendment. Amend your way, examine yourself. One thing about it, because when the Lord bring it, there ain't gonna be no more talking. Verse 20, he said, but for all these things, they shall not turn from their wickedness, nor be always mindful of the scourge. So a lot of people are not mindful, not considered. They don't give a damn. All they know is what right before they face. A lot of people still are going on with their daily life, still have a job, still thinking about accomplishing something in this falling system. It's going to get worse and worse. We constantly warning you left and right. People are not mindful. They're not watching. They're not being circumspect. They're not redeeming the time wisely. And one thing about it, they're going to get caught up in this evil net, which in fact is Jacob's trouble. Verse 21 says, behold, victuals shall be good and cheap upon the earth, that they shall think themselves to be in good case, and even then shall evils grow, said upon the earth, sword, famine, and great confusion. So we're seeing that we're coming upon this time. Evils are constantly growing left and right. We're seeing in all those videos, these cyber attacks, left and right, constantly hitting the infrastructure. All these things are happening. Also, rumors of war. You already said that Russia said it will be consequences for what happened when they hit those targets in Russia. So a lot of things are happening. They're talking about they're getting ready to be consequences with NATO and also the West, which in fact America, Babylon the Great. So hey man, we're here. So we're coming upon this time. A lot of people still thinking they're a good case. Oh, I have this, I have that, I have plenty, I have a doomsday bunk. But if the Lord is not on your side, you're going to be obsolete. You will be deleted. Verse 22 says, for many of them that dwell upon the earth shall perish, of the famine, and the other that escaped the hunger shall the sword destroy. So we coming upon that time. Sedition among men, you know what I'm saying? It's going to be fighting, rioting all across the world. Wars will be all across the world. And we knowing that this place will be totally destroyed in 1 hour. Thy judgment comes. So now let's go here to Luke. Let's go here to Luke chapter 21. Luke chapter 21 and verse 34. And it reads, and take heed to yourself, lest at any time your heart be overcharged with surfeiting and drunkenness and cares of this life, and so that the day come upon you unaware. So this day is going to come upon you unaware because you're not watching. One thing about it, you constantly want to do wickedly each and every, scoffing and mocking, because said this ain't going to happen, that ain't going to happen, and it's happening right before your eyes. And a lot of people, the Lord already said, I will come like a thief in the night. Watch. You know what I'm saying? But one thing about it, our people are not watching. Only thing they want to do is have a great old time, a good old time, watching this damn wicked debate between Trump and Biden. All sorts of things, watching the game. Doing all sorts of things that is foolishness to Yahweh by Hashem Yahushua. You're not seeking the Lord, you're seeking death. Verse 35 said, for as a snare or a trap shall it come on all them that dwell on the face of the whole earth. Verse, it's going to be a global event, the hour of temptation, Jacob's trouble. Verse 36 said, watch ye therefore and pray always that ye may be accounted worthy to escape all these things that shall come to pass and to stand before the Son of Man, Yahweh, by Hashem Yahushua. So one thing about it is that, we're seeing it, we're very close. The men of the Lord constantly warning you of these things. They constantly picking up left and right. We're seeing one thing happening behind another, just like a domino effect. These evils are going to constantly be growing, and the plagues are not going to slack down for a moment. In the middle of the Lord, out in the highways and byways, making these video epistles, constantly warning you of these appended dangers that is fast approaching. And one thing about it is that when the Lord brings this judgment upon you, hey man, we warn you, we told you so. They shall seek me early. So let's get one more. Let's go here to Ecclesiasticus chapter 5 and verse 7. Ecclesiasticus chapter 5, we close out here. It said, make no tarry to turn to the Lord, no delays, and put not off from day to day, for suddenly shall the wrath of the Lord come forth, and in thy security thou shalt be destroyed and perish in the day of vengeance. We are very close. We constantly warn you. Verse 8 said, set not thy heart upon goods unjustly gotten, for they shall not profit thee in the day of calamity. That's what we constantly warn you, left and right. A lot of people still think that they're a good case. They are unawares, and these evils are constantly getting closer and closer. All hell is getting ready to break loose, and the men of the Lord is standing on a watch, and we'll stand on fire for Yahweh by Hashem Yahushua. So we're seeing that these things are fast approaching. We're warning you, warning before destruction. So the title of the day lesson, once again, is Watchman Report, News and Events. So I'd like to give all praises and honor and glory to Yahweh by Hashem Yahushua by Hashem Rekah Kwadash. I like to say, Shalom. Shalom.